The air was thick with tension as the group of hikers ventured deeper into the heart of Stone Mountain Park. Towering trees loomed over the narrow trail, casting elongated shadows that seemed to dance with an eerie rhythm. The moon hung low in the sky, its feeble light barely penetrating the dense canopy of leaves overhead. Among the hikers were three friends: Alex, Jamie, and Morgan. They had chosen Stone Mountain Park for their weekend adventure, seeking solace in nature's embrace. The silence of the forest was broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves and the crunch of twigs beneath their boots. As the group made their way along the winding trail, a strange unease settled upon them. The air seemed to carry whispers of an ancient tale, a story long forgotten by the modern world. Unbeknownst to the hikers, they were treading on ground haunted by an ancient evil. The wind picked up, carrying with it a haunting melody that made the hairs on the back of their necks stand on end. The group exchanged uneasy glances but pressed on, dismissing the unease as a byproduct of an overactive imagination. Deeper into the park, the trees gave way to a large clearing, revealing the majestic silhouette of Stone Mountain itself. The massive rock formation jutted out of the earth like a slumbering giant, its rugged surface bathed in the silvery glow of the moon. They set up camp at the edge of the clearing, the eerie glow of the moonlight casting an otherworldly pallor over the landscape. The campfire crackled, its warmth providing a semblance of comfort in the face of the encroaching darkness. Little did they know that the legends whispered in the shadows were about to come to life. As the night wore on, the temperature dropped, and an ominous chill settled over the clearing. The hikers huddled around the campfire, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. A distant howl echoed through the night, sending shivers down their spines. Alex, the most adventurous of the trio, brushed off the howl as the cry of a distant wolf. "Probably just a pack passing through," Alex reassured the others, though doubt lingered in their eyes. The wind picked up again, carrying with it a low, guttural growl that seemed to emanate from the very rock beneath their feet. The ground trembled ever so slightly, as if the mountain itself was awakening. Unseen eyes watched from the shadows, a malevolent force that had slumbered for centuries. As the clock struck midnight, the once silent forest erupted in a cacophony of unearthly sounds. Twigs snapped, leaves rustled, and the air filled with an oppressive energy. The hikers, now gripped by fear, scanned the darkness for any sign of movement. A sudden silence descended upon the clearing, broken only by the heavy, deliberate footsteps echoing through the night. The hikers, paralyzed by fear, clutched at each other, their eyes fixed on the darkness. It emerged from the shadows a hulking figure, part man, part beast, and partially composed of stone. The werewolf, if it could be called that, was a grotesque fusion of flesh and rock. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity, and its fur seemed to be made of coarse, jagged stones. The very ground trembled beneath its massive paws as it approached the campsite. The hikers, unable to comprehend the horror before them, remained frozen in place. The werewolf's gaze fixated on them, a predatory hunger evident in its eyes. Without warning, it let out a bone-chilling howl, a sound that seemed to reverberate through the very core of the mountain. The campfire flickered and died, plunging the clearing into darkness. The only sound that remained was the echoing howl of the demonic werewolf. In the pitch-black night, the hikers could feel its presence closing in, the cold breath of the supernatural beast sending shivers down their spines. Suddenly, the moon emerged from behind a cloud, casting an ethereal glow on the creature before them. The werewolf's stony features became more pronounced, revealing a visage that seemed to defy the laws of nature. Driven by a primal instinct, the hikers broke free from their paralysis and stumbled backward, attempting to put distance between themselves and the malevolent entity. But the werewolf was relentless, its pace unyielding as it closed in on its prey. As the hikers ran blindly through the forest, the demonic howls pursued them, each echoing off the ancient trees like a symphony of terror. The once familiar trail became a maze of twisted roots and looming shadows, with the werewolf's menacing presence always just a step behind. Morgan, gasping for breath, tripped over a gnarled root and fell to the ground. The others, frantic and disoriented, barely noticed her absence in the chaotic scramble to escape the supernatural terror. Alone in the darkness, Morgan could hear the werewolf's footsteps drawing nearer. Desperation took hold as Morgan crawled behind a large rock, praying that its stony surface might conceal her from the beast's keen senses. The werewolf, however, seemed to sense her presence, its glowing eyes fixating on her hiding place. Time seemed to stretch as Morgan held her breath, the world around her reduced to the sound of her own heartbeat and the distant howls of the pursuing creature. The werewolf circled the rock, its movements deliberate and ominous. In the agonizing silence, Morgan's mind raced. She recalled the ancient legends surrounding Stone Mountain, tales of a demonic spirit imprisoned within the stone itself, cursed to roam the earth in search of unsuspecting souls. The legends spoke of sacrifices made to appease the malevolent force, but the details had long been lost to time. The werewolf, having sensed Morgan's fear, let out a triumphant howl that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality. As it lunged at her, its stony claws outstretched, Morgan's vision blurred with terror. But before the creature could make contact, a blinding light enveloped the clearing. In that moment, the ancient legends came to life. The light emanated from the very rock of Stone Mountain, as if the mountain itself had awoken to protect its unwitting visitors. The werewolf recoiled, its stony form writhing in agony as the unearthly light consumed it. The hikers, drawn to the spectacle, witnessed the supernatural battle between the demonic werewolf and the ancient power within the mountain. The air crackled with energy as the two forces clashed, the very ground beneath them trembling with the intensity of the otherworldly struggle. The blinding light intensified, reaching its peak before slowly fading away. In its place stood Stone Mountain, unchanged and enigmatic. The werewolf, defeated by the ancient power, had vanished into the depths of the forest, leaving behind only a haunting echo of its malevolence. As the first light of dawn illuminated the clearing, the hikers cautiously emerged from their hiding places. The air, once heavy with dread, now carried a sense of calm. The forest, though scarred by the supernatural encounter, seemed to sigh in relief. Morgan, still shaken by the ordeal, joined the others as they made their way back to the campsite. The legends of Stone Mountain had proven true, revealing an ancient power that had slept for centuries, protecting the very earth it was bound to. As the hikers exited the park, the rising sun cast its warm rays over the landscape, erasing the lingering darkness of the night. Stone Mountain stood as a silent sentinel, its secrets buried deep within the folds of time. The hikers, forever changed by the encounter, carried with them a tale of terror and triumph, a story that would be whispered through the ages, the legend of the Howl of Stone Mountain.